This final week of 2022, we discuss a big budget Starfield mystery with a protagonist that's doing a little too much with his fake accent. Death on the, I'm sorry. I mean, Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. I'm Chad.
I'll bet.
And we want to thank you so much for listening to us this year, but also thank you for listening to the 88th episode of We Used to Talk About This at Work. All right, so right off the bat, we've had so many technical difficulties this evening. It's insane. Like Matt's microphone is fucking up. My webcam's fucking up. It looked like Caesar was like 50 feet away from his camera when he was on here. Karlan's shit wasn't working. It's a New Year's miracle that we are here today. So I want to thank you guys for coming on this evening.
Thank you for having me.
That's your line, Karlan.
Yeah, thank you.
So, Karlan, how's the website? How has the podcast and the YouTube page been going?
It's going pretty well. Just watching movies and enjoying whatever guest comes on.
Yeah, like where's the invites, man? Like if you hit me up and you're like, "Hey, man, do you want to watch some bullshit?" I'll be like, "Okay." Why is it not? This is actually an intervention. We tricked you into coming this week. I'm just saying, man, like, why do I always have to ask you to hang out with me? Do you not like me, Karlan?
No, it's not true. I'll invite all of you to my podcast.
Even this guy I just met in the pre-show.
Yeah. Well, we have to find a movie that we can all agree on that we never cared to see.
Right, I got you. So before the show, I saw that you posted a movie. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place right now. I saw you posted a video, a bad romantic comedy, something from Tiffany's, and it's a pretty good video, man.
Thank you.
I don't know about the content of the movie, and I'm not shitting on it. Like I like a good rom-com myself. I do like a nice shitty Hallmark movie. We did a whole bonus episode on it. But I don't know. It's like a good little in and out review. You don't do that often.
No, I don't. I'm going to start to, though.
What made you want to make shorter content?
Shorter content?
I mean, that video is 5 minutes long as opposed to like some of your podcast episodes are like upwards of 2 hours.
I think that I'm going to start regularly just start uploading quality content like that every week, and I was just like, well, you know what, it doesn't need to be so long like I've always do that, I can get in and get out and just work on the next video.
I got you. Okay, well, what in general, what's been going on with you?
Nothing much, just still working in the film industry, making new reviews, meeting new people, same old, I guess.
Can you talk about any movies or things, TV shows you worked on lately?
Still just the same shows. I think it was the same show that I told you about last time. I thought
that was a movie.
No, it was a TV show. Zoltar. It got renewed for a second season.
The first season didn't even fucking come out yet.
I know. That's what these streaming sites are doing.
I've never heard of that one. Which one is that on?
It's going to be on Apple or Apple TV or whatever. But
Android all the way, baby.
Yeah.
Well, no, not even that. Like they haven't even released the show yet.
Yeah, that's what they do. Apparently that's what they do.
Yeah. Who was in that, by the way?
The only thing I know is the whatever main guy from Orange is the New Black. I've never seen that show, so I don't even know his face.
It was an all-female show.
That's dudes.
The guy from American Pie.
Yes.
Oh,
wait,
Jason
no.
Biggs.
Someone else.
Right.
I know it's not him. It's someone else, or unless it might be him. But I really think it's
because the main guy from Orange is the New Black is whatever the guy from American Pie is.
Jason Biggs.
Yeah. Well, he's the leading. There's so many seasons of Orange is the New Black, but like he's one of the main ones. You have like guards that are. So I'm not sure exactly which one you're talking about.
Yeah, he looks like Jason Biggs, so maybe it is him. All these actors look the same, I swear to you.
Wow, I didn't know you were actor prejudice, Karlan.
I'm not, but when they all look the same, it's just hard to keep up.
I seen a picture, a meme where it had like Margot Robbie on there. It had the girl from Sex Education. It had like all these pictures, and it was like, which was Margot Robbie? Or how many of these people are Margot Robbie? And it was like, people were like, oh, these two are her, these three are her. Apparently, all 6 of those people are different people.
So you're in Georgia, Karlan. What is the weather like down there?
It's pretty cold. Just last night, I was looking at my phone, like the weather app, and it even said like in the morning we could get snow.
What's the temperature right now?
The temperature right now is 10 degrees.
Okay, so in St. Louis it's 5, and we got 3 inches of snow, and like this morning it was like -6. What is the weather like there, Matt?
It's cold. We getting flurries and not even an inch, not even half inch, not even, it's barely sticking, but the Kyushu, this area around here, they don't do snow as far as like the city doesn't, plow doesn't, salt doesn't do anything like that except for on the expressway. So basically, whenever it gets even a little bit of snow, everybody freaks out and stuff like that. But I get it, because you got like all the small roads, the hills you go through and things of that nature. So, but it's just been cold, really cold.
You saying like the whole city freaks out when like shit goes kind of like a little snowy. That reminds me of I think it was last year when Texas got snow, and it was like the whole state just shut down.
Yeah, everything shut down.
Yeah.
You're in Texas, right?
Yes, I am. Houston. So, man, it's been bad out here. They talk about 17 degrees here in Texas, in Houston. And the crazy thing is, like, it doesn't normally get this cold. You know, I don't know who all these people talk about. There's no such thing as climate change, but I'm pretty sure that's a pretty big change. We got ice on the roads out here. I've actually had a wild day the past 2 days. Found out my furnace was broken because I never used it. I just bought a new house, so it's never used the furnace before. It was sitting at like, I had the set point at 68 degrees, and it was like 65 in the house. And I thought, you know, it's working, it's good. And then yesterday it got down to like 30 degrees in the house. I was like, oh, well, there's my heat. So I spent the entire day today driving around trying to figure out how to get my AC fixed, or my furnace. It's central air.
So were you trying to fix it yourself, or did you hire somebody?
So I'm fairly handy. So my first thing was to go in there and look at it, see what's wrong with it. Is it something simple, like change the air filter?
Okay.
Come to find out it was actually the circuit board on it. I had to change out the circuit board. So I did call a guy out. I called that, 1 hour AC, 1 hour heat guys. They came out, charged me $99, told me I could pay them $1,300 and they could have the circuit board here to me in 3 to 5 days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But then he also told me you could probably find a circuit board for like $80 at a local AC shop, AC supply store. So I spent last night in the cold. I started I turned the ovens on because I got 2 ovens. I turned the ovens on. I started a fire in the fireplace, and I tried to warm up the house that way. It didn't work too well, but none of my pipes busted yet. Knock on wood.
Well, yeah, let's not talk like that.
Yeah. So man, I actually was able to get found the circuit board by 10 a.m. Took me about 2.5 hours driving around to all these stores trying to figure out who had it. And I got it replaced now, and now I got heat again.
That's good. And you did it
That's
all
good.
yourself?
Yeah, I did it all myself.
That's good. How much YouTube and stuff?
Probably about 75 minutes worth of YouTube content that I had to go through. Literally 75 minutes to get to that specific part.
Hmm.
But along with the technical difficulties that of the AC of the heater, at some point with the flicking the circuit breakers on and off, my stovetop went out. It's an electric stove. So now I have an oven that works, but the stovetop doesn't. So I can't cook anything on the stovetop. It's like, man, being a homeowner sucks.
Yeah.
Right. If it's
I
not
wanna-
one thing, it's another.
Yeah.
I want to call the landlord, man. I want to call the landlord and get him to fix this stuff.
But hey, man, this gets to be your problem now. So that's the trade-off. It
Absolutely.
sucks. It sucks. But hey, more YouTube. Then I feel like on an episode that you were on previously, you were talking about wanting to. You were talking about like having properties and doing this, that, and other, right? This is just building to that.
Absolutely. So I still have my house that I was previously in,
Mhm.
and I have some renters in there now.
Yeah, and then when their shit goes out, you and YouTube can go over there and fix it.
No, I'm gonna call somebody. I'm an investor, not a you know what I'm saying? I'm not hands-on. No, that's mailbox money. Mailbox money.
So, Karlan, like I know like your job is like with electrical and wires and stuff. Like, how closely does that translate to like, oh shit, my furnace went out?
Not too much, really. Everything's kind of built for us, and we just know kind of the ins and out of it a little bit. So
Okay. I'm not a very electrical person. I did some stuff in my house, but some stuff I was like, we'll call somebody, or man, do we need hot water in that bathroom? Do we? I don't think we do.
Nah, we got a stove. We can heat some stuff up and take a bath that way.
I mean, if you really think about it, what are the germs really killing with the hot water,
Right.
right.
Yeah.
It's more about the motion and the soap, Hot water is just extra.
Right. It's
right. How hard you scrub? Yeah.
Right. So, are you're feuding with somebody at work right now, Caesar? Is that what you were telling me?
It's not any one individual, but here, let me paint this picture for you real quick. I work shift work. It's 4 on, 4 off, 12-hour shifts. Every day on my shift, we bring in somebody brings in lunch for the entire crew. Burgers, pasta, spaghetti. Sometimes people order pizzas. When we're working days, we bring in breakfast. Like I'm bringing in breakfast tomorrow morning to work, and we cook, and it feeds everybody.
Oh, kind of like firefighters and stuff.
Yeah, exactly like that. So there's 8 people on shift with us. Well, 7 or 8, depending on who's all there. But generally, there's 7 or 8 people with us on shift. So 4 sets, right? 4 days we're on. But I seem to be bringing something every set. Like, hold on, wait. The math isn't mathing here, So there's certain guys, and we're trying to figure out why, but they just never raise their hand. Like, hey, I got it tomorrow, or they just never bring anything. And we're actually thinking that it might be like this one guy. We think it's his wife. It's like she won't let him spend money. Like she sends him with a lunch, and if he doesn't eat his lunch, it's like, yeah, it's a bad day for him.
So, have you guys thought about like just making an actual like schedule and lining up with the work schedule? So that it's like on this day, so and so has breakfast. On this day, so and so. Like really, just like streamline it.
So I've been at this job for since May. I've been here, and I brought it up, but this is the way they've been doing it for a long time. I guess because they can't guarantee that certain people are going to bring continuously, so every set it's just like up in the air. Like, all right, who's got tomorrow? Yeah,
I see.
So I always try to wait till the last day, be like, or to the third day, and be like, hey, nobody else got tomorrow. I guess I'll bring something since anybody raises their hand.
I mean, you got to show them what's what. You got to just not do it for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then that'll show them.
Yeah.
Right. Then they're gonna be like, "Oh, we need to get some food. We might have to put this down, pen to paper."
Right.
Yeah.
Because this, as far as you know, this could be like some sort of hazing situation.
Well, it's not just me who's upset about it. There's 4 of us. No, there's like 5 of us who bring pretty regular.
Okay.
And it's just these other guys who don't come through. And it's not a money thing because I don't think it is because we all bring home a pretty hefty check.
Hey, we cannot assume what everybody's financial situation is.
True, very true. But I'm the lowest paid man in there. I'm like, this is BS.
Right, but like the way your life situation is, you yourself have said you have other income revenues with your property and stuff, and you got other stuff, and maybe you're budgeting differently. It's like, once upon a time, I worked in tax preparation. Have I ever talked about this? My time in this field?
Not at all.
I like
I'm an avid listener.
Yeah, I was like, I like how you shaking your head. But I'm like, nah, you listen to all the episodes, okay? And so like one of the things that folks would do is like they come in and they be like, hey, so I make the same amount of money as so and so as my job. How come my tax refund isn't the same? And I'm like, do they have kids? Maybe they claiming kids. Maybe they have like a small business. Like there's like a whole bunch of factors. Like we're all different, right? So it's like you can't
the
really.
The biggest factor being who your tax preparer is.
I mean, hey,
how far they're willing to stretch the tax code.
It's only so much one can do, all right? Because it's like shit. Like, don't expect a $3,000 paycheck and you single. You need to chill.
You still do tax preparation on the side?
I'm not doing. Does Texas even have state taxes?
No, we don't. Federal only.
But also no. Well, yes, but no.
Offline, I got you. It's top.
No, you don't. You don't.
Come on, I need help, bro. Help me.
You got more stuff than I want to deal with. I just want somebody with a job, nothing else.
He's like easy money or no money.
Right.
So, Matt, what are you watching on Netflix?
Recently came out of a TV show called The Recruit. Have you guys heard of it? Okay, silence means no.
No, I've heard of it. I'm trying to let other people talk,
Okay.
Karlan, have you heard of the show? Have you worked on this show? What's going on?
I don't think so. It sounds whenever someone says a TV show's name, it almost sounds like everything else.
It's got that one boy, Noah Cinti, whatever the fuck. He was in Shazam.
Why he got to be a boy?
Because he's like 24.
Does he identify as a boy?
Yeah.
Okay. Just check.
Yeah. No, this isn't like well, no, I'm not gonna single anybody out, but no, this isn't one of those situations where I am assuming someone's sex.
Okay.
Hey, we keep it PC on this podcast,
all right.
Yeah, never heard of it.
It's about a new recruit into the CIA. He is a lawyer, but things happen and he gets thrown into the field. This is a great show. It's only like 8 episodes, but they're pretty long. I think they're like 45 minutes, maybe to an hour. Great show. He plays the role perfectly. I highly recommend it. I don't want to do no spoilers because I want you guys or listeners to check this out. But yeah, The Recruit on Netflix is very good. Very, very good.
Did you finish the season?
Yes.
Was that Karlan?
That's the guy from To All the Boys I Loved Before.
Yeah. And also, once upon a time, he was going to play He-Man, but Netflix is tripping right now.
And a voice actor or live action?
Live action He-Man, but Netflix can't seem to get it off the ground.
He doesn't have the chest for
well,
it.
he need.
Hey.
That's what I say. I was about to say he needs a bulk up then.
Hey, I mean, if you go back and you look at some early Chris Evans stuff, like when he was in Fantastic Four, and then you look at that compared to like
That's different. Johnny Storm is not meant to be bulked up.
But I'm just saying, like, who would have thought like somebody like that got as big as he got when he became Captain America? So I mean, they can make anybody get in the gym, all right?
Yeah, that's true.
Also, I can't remember, but didn't they make him like have a shirtless scene in Black Adam?
I don't remember.
He was in Black Adam.
Wait, were we the only two that saw that movie?
No, I saw it.
I didn't watch it. I didn't think there was a reason to watch Black Adam.
No, it's. I mean, clearly there isn't. I mean, all that's getting deleted. So
Right.
The Rock was supposed to shake up the hierarchy of the DCEU.
Yeah.
Now look at him out here on the streets.
You see how you put that announcement / whatever it was supposed to be about the DC and how him and James Gunn is friends and things like that.
Just like when Henry Cavill was like, "Hey guys, I'm back." Yeah, you can say anything for a check.
Right.
Yeah.
So another movie I watched was Mindcage starring Martin Lawrence. The only reason why I wanted to watch this because I wanted to see how he was playing a serious role.
Yeah, like I remember when I was younger, we were having a conversation about like comedians that do movies, and like they were like, everybody's done like a serious role except Martin Lawrence, and I'm like, nuh-uh. Wait,
Yeah, that's not true.
What else has he done serious?
I felt that A Thin Line Between Love and Hate was pretty serious. At least the situation of it was.
Yeah, okay, that's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair. That's fair. I gave you that.
Yeah.
I appreciate you picking something we just saw. So it's like I can't even be like,
Right,
well, I don't
right.
remember. No, I remember.
But basically, it's about a cop. He plays a detective, and he arrested years ago this serial killer who, when he kills him, he dresses him up in these fantastic like artistic poses somewhere. Like it could be anywhere from in a church, on a train, things like that. But then years later, there is a copycat doing the exact same thing, and they reach out to him to try to figure out if he has any insight to who this copycat killer is and stuff like that. Now, this movie was interesting to the very end, and they the situation. So I'm about to spoil it.
Your mic was going in and out.
You hear me now?
Yeah, like it sounded
Yeah, but
like
it switched mics.
Yeah, it switched to like your laptop. What we're
Okay.
having all issues.
It was
tonight.
trying to warn us about the spoiler that you're gonna say.
So the movie was good all the way up until they revealed the twist into the movie. Now, if you don't want to hear the ending of it, skip ahead about a minute because I'm about to spoil this because it ruined the movie for me. So this is a real world type of thing of cops and investigations and everything else like that. The spoiler on this is the killer who's in jail, who's helping them. It all becomes supernatural to where he can put himself into other people's bodies.
He's
and then for like
for
a couple minutes, and they do stuff. So that's how he was able to get the copycat work, because he was the one who was actually doing it. So earlier you asked me, is he involved in it? And I was like, Martin Lawrence. I was like, yes and no. And I was like, well, yes, because he gets into Martin Lawrence, and Martin Lawrence was the one that was doing all the killing, the
Martin
detective
Lawrence
thing. Right. So I was like, you did all of this straight real life stuff, and then you had to throw some supernatural shit at the end. And I was like, all right, yeah, this ain't it.
We're done here.
Yeah, so watch it, don't watch it. I don't care.
Did it not? So it killed the movie for you? You didn't like it at the end because of that?
No, right. Because I was thinking that, who was a killer, and they're gonna figure it out but then when you threw some, It's kind of like they figured out all this movie, this, and this. It's like, shit, we need a killer. How about we just had this guy say he can go into other people's bodies or whatever? Because nothing part of this movie was ever supernatural. It only got supernatural to this very end.
Gotcha. So I'm looking at the poster for it right now, and I'm looking at this picture of Martin Lawrence. It's kind of crazy to me because to me it looks like a Carl Winslow with hair.
Oh yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, like he's got that belly on him and everything. Have y'all heard about the Eddie? I believe Eddie Murphy did a new movie also, where he's I've seen the preview for it. It was Eddie Murphy and his character and his character's wife sitting at the table with
Jonah Hill.
White guy.
Yeah,
Jonah
Hill.
That's not out yet. That's not out yet.
Okay. Have y'all seen the preview for it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm interested in seeing that too because it seemed like it was supposed to be more of a serious movie also, and I got
comedy vibe from that.
So did I.
Not from the Eddie Murphy side though.
Yeah.
The Jonah Hill comedy.
Yeah,
yes.
he's Eddie Murphy's playing the straight man. So this is like so it's Eddie Murphy, Neil Long, and what's his name?
Oh yeah, Neil Long.
Jonah Hill.
And it's one of those like not Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, a good movie. Guess Who? You remember with Ashton Kutcher and Zoe Saldana? One of those situations.
Yeah.
Where, it's like, oh yeah, meeting the parents and the dad's all stern and shit. That's what Eddie Murphy is bringing to the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still a straight face Eddie Murphy. So for me, it's like that looks exciting.
But I mean, but Eddie Murphy was nominated for an Oscar. We know Eddie Murphy's got chops.
Yeah, he does.
So, also, why do you hate trailers, Matt?
I didn't know I hated trailers until I read this article. So Carla will be, I guess, interested in this because it's part of his business. Mm-hmm. So basically, in 2019, a rom-com came out called Yesterday. Are you guys familiar with that movie?
Yes.
Okay, well, the point of it is basically during the trailer, they showed Ana de Armas in the trailer. So, but it turns out that her parts were cut from the movie. So when these people went to go see the movie based off the trailer, and they were disappointed that she was not in the movie. So she sued. Let me get this correct. So she sued in there where basically how the trailer was misleading and things like that. At first I was like, that's a trivial lawsuit. But then I thought about Black Adam when I was like, hold on, the trailer shows Black Adam flying through the air with some jets, and that wasn't in the movie because it got cut. So do you guys think it's okay for trailers to be misleading? Because they were saying basically that trailers are showing you snippets of a movie. So if you show me something that's not in the movie, then that is misleading, right?
Very misleading.
So what are you guys' thoughts about this?
I think we should give the floor to Karlan first.
Yeah, it's incredibly misleading, but the job of the trailer is to make you want to go see the movie, and nothing else matters after that. That's why I stay away from trailers. I don't watch them at all.
Right. I mean, to be on the side of the studios, they make those trailers like sometimes really early into the edit. And so it's like, how are you going to know what's going to be in the final product, right? Or like, what if something didn't test well with an audience, and then they took it out because the test audience didn't like it, but it was still in the trailer.
It's also whoever the studios are that make the movie, they send all their footage to a trailer production house, and they get different people who don't even know what the movie is or whatever, and they make the trailer.
Right.
That's some interesting information right there. I never knew that.
Yeah.
I mean, but I do agree to a degree. I do think that it's kind of shitty, and just for me personally, and to Matt an extent too. Like, we watch a lot of trailers, And so when I go into a movie, I'm like, I appreciate seeing things that weren't in the trailer because I absorbed a lot of stuff from this movie before I actually saw it. So, but also, Marvel blatantly lies in like every single trailer they put out, and nobody says anything.
And their after credit scenes too.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
Because I was just reading one. They said the Jurassic Park movie. I don't know. I think it's probably the newest one. They said that trailer was entirely made up of cutscenes that were not in the movie. The whole trailer was.
Yeah.
That's funny. You know, I'm sure they probably filmed a lot of stuff with those too.
Right.
So over the last week, last week we did our first ever Seen Unseen podcast episode, and that episode dropped like yesterday, time of recording. So I'm not gonna ask if either you listened to it because I won't, you know, it was yesterday. But basically, Seen Unseen was a podcast, a really early podcast where it was two guys and they would watch, one would watch a movie and one wouldn't. And they would both watch the trailer together. And the person that didn't watch the movie would try and like piece together what the movie was about based on the trailer. And so we played that last week for like, we both watched separate Christmas movies and we ended up liking what we saw, even though we didn't think we would. And we recommended it to the other person. And so I asked Matt to watch The Last Holiday, thinking it was going to be some black foolishness. And he was like, this is actually good. And I was like, okay. So I watched it. And when it started, like the very first scene in this movie is like it's Queen Latifah singing at church. And I'm like, y'all just going head first into this movie, huh? But once it gets going, when she goes on her last holiday, I was charmed as fuck by this movie. Like, I really enjoyed it. I'll admit I got a little teary eyed at one part. You know, it was hitting me right here in the heart.
What part?
When she's talking about when Queen Latifah tells the lady that works at the hotel that she's sick. And like they're having like a nice touching heart to heart moment because like that lady has been like a giant beat to her the entire movie. But then like they you know they connect and I was like, God damn it, movie. I didn't think that you would do this to me. Like I'm feeling it right now. Like it was a really touching movie.
See, like just like I said, that's how I felt when she got diagnosed, and I was like, I'm not mentally well dealing with death these days. I was like, I didn't know what this movie was going to be about. So now you hit me in my feels about death. And I was just like, but then we get past that and then comedy and good stuff happened. So I was like, all right, good.
Yeah. And also like one last thing I want to say about it is like a lot of the times in these types of movies, there's like some sort of like, you know, the main character is lying to people. And so people are thinking one thing. And so like you have to have that scene at the end where the person's mad at them for lying. And they're like, look, I only lied to you because blah, 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 blah. There was none of that. And I genuinely appreciated that. Like it didn't follow the formula for this type of movie beat for beat. It was just really fucking charming. And I do agree with you, Matt. I could not take Ella Cool J seriously. I was like, sir, stop trying to be the romantic lead in this movie.
I couldn't take it like the clothes he was wearing. Like he was supposed to play some kind of like, not nerd, but like his clothes he was wearing. In my mind, I'm like, you LL Cool J, you wear better stuff than this.
Right.
Yeah.
Ladies don't love that you're wearing Dickies, okay?
Right.
And then also like just a complete 180. I read a book this week that I could not put down. It's called Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. Any of you guys familiar with this book?
Nope.
No.
No.
Readings for nerds.
Damn nerds. You'll wait for the movie.
Yes, that's all I am.
So
I'm waiting for the trailer to drop.
There you go. Complain. Well, how come these scenes weren't in the movie? So I feel like this would make a really good like mini series on like a streaming service. But basically, it's about these two characters, Sam and Sadie. They met when they were kids. Sadie's sister, she had cancer. and Sam, he was in a really bad accident. And they bonded. Like, I'm not sure how much time you guys have spent in children's hospitals.
No.
Never.
No. Okay. Just me. Okay. So they have like, video games and stuff. Like people donate video game consoles and like give money and entertainment stuff for kids. And so this movie set like in the the book starts off in the early 90s when they meet. And they're playing like a Nintendo that was donated to the hospital, and they really bond. And so the hospital people are like, hey, that's the first time like the boy has talked to anybody in weeks. And like, if you could, like, since you're already be here, can you like talk to him and spend time with him and get him to open up? And so she does that, and she gets community service points for it, and she doesn't tell him that it's community service. And so he finds out, and they have a big falling out. So basically the book is about like the two of them throughout their lives from like maybe 10, 11 until they're like 40-ish. And so like they reconnect in college, and she's going to school to like make video games. And this is like in the mid 90s. And they ended up making a video game together that like actually gets popular. And so that's their career trajectory. And so it's a lot about the highs and lows of their relationship. And it's not a relationship like they're dating. It's like kind of like brother, sister, but like these are at the heart of it. These are two very broken people. So like they'll like have these like hiccups, and they won't talk to each other. And it just makes things really bad in the relationship to where like they won't talk to each other for long periods of time. Like when she was like, I'm getting community service or hanging out with him, but like she had like several hundred hours of community service. And so like it was at a point where she was doing it because she actually liked spending time with him, not because, and so it's like
the community service.
So it's like over the course of their lives, there were like a lot of little bumps that if they would have just talked to each other, it wouldn't have gotten as bad as it did. And what I really liked about the book, well, one, it was like weaving real video game history into the book. So like a little bit before their game came out, like Metal Gear Solid came out, and like there were like influences in the game that they made from Metal Gear Solid. And then there was like they eventually like made a game kind of like Persona, like a little bit after it to kind of ride that wave. And so like I like that aspect of it. Like the Arthur, she's Gen X, so she's familiar with video games and shit. But what I really liked about it was like it's not like, like you watch a movie or you read a book and like the characters go through an arc, and then like by the end of it they learn something so that they overcome these faults that they have. But it was real because they kept repeating the same shit. Like they kept having these falling outs where it's like you just need to have like a real fucking conversation with each other, and this wouldn't keep happening. But that's not realistic.
Right.
So it's really good. It's a really good book. I will say, like near the end, it got a little. I was like, okay, I'm kind of ready for this to be over. Some bad stuff happened, and they had like a really bad falling out. And so I was like, I understand this. But then like there was a whole chapter about this video game that she was playing. And I'm like, I don't fucking care about this video game. Like, please, I want to skip this chapter, but I understand that there's going to be some vital information here, but I need this to be over. But it was near the end of the book. But no, it's a really good book. It's Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. I highly recommend it. Okay, so also lastly, Matt, I saw Avatar 2, The Way of Water.
How was it?
The James Cameron epic. It was okay. It was okay. I'll say this. Like when it first started off, I was like, you know what? I like this so much better than the first movie. I'm feeling this, like we're back in Pandora. Oh, side note, I saw the re-release of Avatar 1 in 3D like a couple of months ago. I saw Avatar 1 years ago. I was like, man. And like minutes into seeing the re-release, I was like, I just remembered I fucking hate this movie. So this is where we were. So I'm watching it and I'm like, I'm feeling this. This is fun. We're back in Pandora. And then they're like, okay, hey, so we're actually going to leave the jungles of Pandora and go to the waters of Pandora because we're on some punk ass shit. And I was like, hold up, wait, what? You're about to do what now? You're about to bring this fight to somebody else's door? No? Okay, cool.
Yeah, we won the first time at home, but now we better go bring this to somebody else's house.
Right, this is somebody else's problem.
So I haven't seen the new movie, but I always thought from the first movie, the whole point was to protect the trees.
Oh no, we don't give a shit. We don't give a shit about that no more.
No, so okay, we don't care about trees.
No,
just gonna go on water.
No, Caesar, we care about the way of water.
Oh,
right.
So there's some stuff in the water that we need to protect now from humans.
Liquid unobtainium.
It basically is. It's gold too. It's liquid gold. It's actual liquid gold. So like they go to the water area and I'm like, I'm kind of not feeling this movie. And I look at my watch and I'd only seen an hour of the movie. And I was like, wait, what? No. And the movie's still going. I was like, God damn it, movie. God damn it, movie. I don't know. And then like when we got to like the final climactic fight battle of the movie, I looked at my watch and I had another 45 minutes left. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And it was around that time where you know how like if you watch like a movie, like a science fiction movie, and there's like a parasite attached to like somebody and it's giving them hallucinations. And eventually the main character like starts to break out of it. And they're like, hold up, this isn't real. That happened to me when we got to the final sequence. Cause like all throughout the movie, I was like, this is getting stupider and stupider, but God damn it, is this movie beautiful. When we got to that final sequence and I saw that I had almost an hour left, the illusion was broken. And I was like, this looks like a cutscene. Like this CGI is not hidden anymore. Like, I feel like the human brain can only look at this so long before it's like, this is not real. And it starts to reject it. So I thought the movie was, I still think the second movie was better than the first movie, but it's still some bullshit. Karlan, have you seen this movie?
No, I haven't seen it. Was never really interested to watch it. I remember the other day though, the ABC News was like reporting on it, and a lot of people were like giving it trash reviews because they're saying it's like some white savior complex,
just like the first one. And I was also astonished by like how many white people were in this movie. And in the current year of 2022, we can't hire this many white people in a movie.
Right.
You had Zoe Saldana, and then like there's somebody else that was like a Aboriginal person, I believe, that played like the chief of the water tribe. And I think the princess was biracial, but everybody else was white in that movie. And I'm like, what's happening here? Like they get on a submarine and it's nothing but white people and one Asian woman. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening here?
Where's the representation?
Like you can't cast like this anymore. Like James Cameron, what are you doing, sir? So yeah. So then anyway, I saw the movie with friend of the show, Rachel. So I was like, well, that was a movie we saw. And she was like, yes, it was. I was ready to leave. And I was like, same. But, you know, this isn't like when we saw Blonde where we could turn this shit off. You know how much those 3D tickets cost?
Oh, how much?
Oh, no, it wasn't like that. It was like, well, it was like it cost $40 total for two people. But I'm just saying.
Wow.
But so we're leaving. I'm like, oh hey, so this is a really big thing for me. I've never listened to my own podcast in the car, and I have no idea what the fuck somebody's about to say. So I was like, is it cool if we turn this on? She's like, yeah, okay. So I listened to Matt's review of this movie, and first thing I noticed was Matt was quite intoxicated. Is that what
how you think I had to get through this movie?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
and then plus, you know how many times I had to fucking record that because the audio wasn't messing up and everything. And plus, like it's so hard to record a podcast yourself.
Yes.
To where I have to remember my notes and I can't do ums and stuff because this is not going to be edited. It was just hard to do. And plus, like, yeah, I was upset about the movie. Then I got upset about how I had to do that. Like, I had to record that like 3-4 times. Like the first time I was like, oh shit, this is golden. And I looked, the audio's not hooked up, and then Chad had to help me. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I had to do it like 3 more times. So then it was just, I was upset.
Yeah.
So taking shots through that whole time.
Stressful. It was
every time
stressful every single time.
Yeah. But yeah, when you were like breaking down like the things you didn't like about it, I was like, same, Matt, same. We would have had a lot of fun shitting on this movie together.
Yeah, it's just not. It reminds me, like I said, of Dune, where it's visually beautiful, but it's kind of like you rehashing the same thing to where in the like, what's his name? Scorpion? No, that's not his name.
Oh,
what's the little boy's name?
That little boy,
Monkey or squirrel, or he has some kind of
spider.
Spider. There we go. I knew it was some kind of animal name. Like, he a fucking villain in that movie to me. Like, he's the one who teaches the bad guys how to do everything. And so I thought he was gonna die in this movie, but he stays alive. And
like, my thing is
I don't like how he has dreads and stuff. So it was just the whole thing.
Yeah, like this little boy, he was like the whole the first. I wouldn't even say the first act because this movie's so goddamn long. But the first part of the movie, he's like team Jake Sully, team Avatar people from the first movie. He's like, yeah, my best friends. And then when he starts hanging out with the villain, all right, villains. So what y'all need to do is y'all need to hook y'all ponytail things to these raptor things, right? This how y'all gonna get around and fuck motherfuckers up. Like, why are you helping them, sir? Like, stop helping them. Also, extremely disturbing. Sigourney Weaver is back in this movie, even though she died in the first movie, and she's playing a teenager, and it is just beyond mental uncanny wall shit. Like, this woman's 73 years old playing like a 14-year-old.
You mean like a CGI type thing?
Yeah, it was disturbing. Her 73-year-old voice coming out of a face that kind of looks like her, but young. It was disturbing.
Yeah, that looks
She
weird.
was blue.
Yeah. But it was just like, but all the avatars kind of look like the actors. So it was just kind of fucked up. What the fuck were we doing, James Cameron?
Hey man, you got 2 more of these to look forward to.
Really?
He wants the rest of his career is Avatar movies. He said that many times.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't even get why everybody thought the first one was that good. It wasn't.
The 3D was like it was pushing the limits of technology at the time, and it still looks good.
Yeah, I get like an eye stigmatism every time I try to watch anything in 3D. So
yeah,
I don't watch movies in 3D. So trash. Basura.
Gomi.
Yes. Matt's favorite word. Yeah.
Avatar 2, this big blockbuster movie, when it got released in Japan, it was not even number 1 that weekend.
What was number 1?
An anime.
Oh,
an anime movie, the basketball one.
What? Love and Basketball?
No, there's an anime about basketball players, and then this is like the first feature film. That movie grossed more in the first weekend than Avatar 2 did.
So for me, I don't actually watch any of the those sports animes or any of the rom-com animes. All about the action, the shonen. So I think it's hilarious that you'd have that big of a showing in the theaters for one of those sports animes.
Right. I didn't know it was that big either, but once I saw that, I laughed. I was like, Japan is staying on brand that they'll choose an anime over Avatar 2. But nah, honestly, that basketball movie anime was probably better than Avatar 2.
I wish you could remember what it was called. I'm super interested. What is this about? Oh, you got the poster?
Yeah.
We're bringing the show to a screeching halt. Are you into anime, Karlan?
No. Well, not really. You know, it's funny you say that because
yes. Somebody's finally on my side. Okay.
but it's funny you say that because one of the next videos I'm going to do for the channel, and this one might be like a long video, but it's going to be titled I Hate Anime. And it's just me describing why I don't like anime. And then I have like 30 to 40 shows that I'm gearing up to watch to try to find an understanding to why people love anime so much.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna be a fan by your time you're done.
I don't know.
maybe
I've
not.
gotten through quite a few now, and I can't stand it.
Are you doing movies, TV, or both?
A little bit of both. As of right now, it's just TV shows. I think out of like the 5 that I've watched, there's only like 1 or 2 that I like.
Which ones have you watched?
There's one called X Driver that I've been watching, and there's only like 6 episodes in like 1 season, and then they have like a TV movie or whatever.
Yeah,
the
see,
movie
this
is awful.
This is shit I need. Like Matt's always like, "Oh man, I was watching so and so. It's a short season. It's only 35 episodes." Like what? No.
Right? Yeah.
Less than 10.
Carlin's watching off-brand anime. I don't.
Yeah.
That's what I was like. I've never heard of that anime, so I was waiting for
X-Drive.
one that I've heard of.
Yeah. X Driver, and then I've also been watching. What's this one called? It's called. Oh, I don't even know what it's called.
Well, as you think about it, that the basketball movie that outdid Avatar is called Slam Dunk. That's the name of the anime.
I've heard of it. I've scrolled past.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either.
Oh, it's called Carried by the Wind.
That sounds like a movie.
It's a TV series, an anime TV series about a woman samurai who just goes on random adventures with another woman.
How many episodes is it?
It's like 13 episodes, and it's actually like it's cool. It's really light, but it's just there's no point to it. There's no huge
no through
or
line.
anything.
Yeah.
It's just like a 1987 anime.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think what I think is me and Matt should get together and create it. You said, what did you say? 40 different shows that you're trying to watch?
Yeah.
I think we can pull together some stuff for you that all of a sudden next time he's on the show, he's going to be a fan. I bet you.
No, you need
Absolutely.
to
Yeah,
no,
send me
he
a
needs to
list.
stay away from y'all.
Oh no. It's going to be great.
I start you off with there's 1 season of this. It's not a lot of episodes, but it's One Punch Man.
There's like
How many
3
seasons?
seasons of One Punch Man.
Oh, I
Really?
watched Samurai
Champloo?
Champloo. Yeah.
Champloo?
Yeah, Champloo. I was so interested to watch it because I was like, oh, this soundtrack is freaking awesome. I watched like the first 2 episodes. I was like, this is incredibly boring. Like, why is nothing happening?
The characters are awesome.
It's 2 seasons.
Yeah, love the soundtrack.
Are you a dubs or subs guy?
Oh, I'm dub. I can't watch anything.
Good. Good. Because I need them to be mad at you because y'all was starting to find common ground and I didn't like that.
I can't even work with him now. If he's
yeah, that's right. I got to sever those ties.
You knew exactly where to hit too.
Right.
Yeah. I
can't people who can't read and watch at the same time.
All right. Now the scales have been rebalanced. All right. This week we discuss Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery.
Ladies and gentlemen.
This is it.
You expected a mystery.
Get your hand off of that.
You expected a puzzle. But for one person on this island, this is not a game.
Will you explain it to us then, detective?
So, Karlan, how would you describe this movie?
Okay, great. Because I just finished watching it.
Fresh on your mind.
Okay. This is perfect. How to describe it? Because I left my friend a voice note about it. I would describe this movie in one statement. It's something truly a mystery if nobody cares. That's how I felt about it.
That's kind of deep. That's kind of deep.
That is deep. I was about to say that shit.
I was like, that's deep. I gotta let that marinate for a second.
Yeah.
I mean,
say it again. Say it one more time.
Is something truly a mystery if nobody cares? It's kind of like a play off that, did a tree really fall if no one's around to hear it?
Right. Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't know we were bringing the podcast to a hold on. We just had to like contemplate right now.
Yeah.
We let that digest. Okay, I got you. I'm on the same page now. I'm tracking.
So, you don't get to tell us your thoughts on the movie after fucking breaking our brains like that, Karlan. Matt, what'd you think of this movie?
I enjoyed it. I thought I took it more comedy-ish because of the accents and the cameos and stuff. But then once the mystery part of it shows up, it was good. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Just watching
Daniel Craig.
In my mind, I was like, James Bond. I was like, no, don't say it. He's done with that. Daniel Craig do that Southern accent and everything. It was just like hilarious to me the whole time he does it. So I enjoyed it though.
Caesar?
I really like the movie. Especially from the outset of the movie, like all the current pop culture references, you know what I'm saying? From the COVID. COVID with the
I was gonna say
everybody else got full mask on. And the one lady had a fishnet mask or something like that. It was like big holes in it.
And then
like,
Batista's
oh my
just
God,
out.
I couldn't breathe.
Then Batista's just out here.
Yeah. Disruptors assemble. I love that, man. That was cool.
Okay, Karlan, now that we've thought about what you had to say, why didn't you like this movie?
I just think that it was, what's the best way to describe? Well, one, I was already salty that Rian Johnson directed and wrote it because I'm still waiting for an apology for what he did for The Last Jedi.
Oh shit. Okay, so Karlan, is this about to be your last appearance on this podcast?
No, listen, The Last Jedi is not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie at all. It's just a bad Star Wars film. But knowing that he made this film, I feel like there wasn't a mystery aspect of it because it didn't engage me to wanting to solve it because one, I didn't care for the characters. And by the time that I was like, okay, well, let me try to guess who is the killer. The movie's already telling me all the clues without me trying to solve them myself.
I get what you're saying. I guess a quick side step. Has everyone seen their first Knives Out?
No.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe we should have did that tonight instead. So like
review the first one.
Yeah, because that's kind of like the whole shtick of the Knives Out. Like, it's not a straightforward mystery, right? Like, even in the first one, I will not spoil the first one. Like, it's the movie is a mystery, but it's about more than who did it, right? Like, just like this movie, like it's trying to put a lens on like society. So like the first one touched on like wealth, and this one, so many things. Like, it's very topical when it came out, like touching on like how rich people can just do whatever the fuck they want to do just because they're brilliant, right? Like how we all like interpret, how we all can experience the same things but interpret it differently, or interpret it a way that we are being told to interpret it, even if that's not necessarily what we saw, right? Like, for example, there's a scene in the movie where someone hands someone a glass, and then that scene is played back, and they're like, that person reached for the glass. I didn't hand them anything, like perception, just like, COVID, right? Like, people are getting sick, but like, was it COVID or was it something else? Like just like how we can all interpret things differently. So like I like that about the movie. I love this movie. Like what I'm trying to get at as I ramble is that the movie was about more than the mystery. And so going in, having seen the first one, I knew that that's not necessarily why I'm here. It's
interesting.
I get you.
Yeah. Another reason why I didn't like it was the characters. I think the actors who portrayed them did a disjustice to them, but I think it was just bad casting in general. For the life of me, throughout the movie, I was trying to name Kate Hudson, like her name as an actress, because she's been so irrelevant throughout.
So were you calling her Almost Famous?
No, I called her at first Katherine Heigl, but I know that was someone else.
Funny.
I know that was someone else. But I'm like, well, you kind of, I guess, look like her. But yeah, I feel like Edward Norton was Edward Norton in this film, not whatever character he was playing. And Daniel Craig, his accent and his mannerisms, the way he performed that character was just like, I don't know if he's just trying to be different, trying to be weird, and thinking it will be creative, but it just didn't.
Yeah, it was outrageous. Is what I would put on it.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig's accent, outrageous.
Yeah.
So like as I goofed around in the intro, like this is basically a modern Death on the Nile. And so like Kenneth Branagh, his accent in that is fucking ridiculous too. So I think this is just a trope that we have to live through right now.
But I just wanted to say Janelle Monáe was so beautiful in this movie. She was gorgeous in this movie.
Who was that?
The black woman.
Helen. Yeah.
Oh, I had a huge crush on Peg, the Asian girl.
Oh, Jessica Hetwick.
Yeah, I liked her because she looks so ordinary.
You guys remember her?
I like her because she looks ordinary.
Oh, honestly,
but when I seen her, I was like, "Hey, she's been in things." I don't remember what she's been in, but I know she's been in things.
Don't you remember? It's one of everybody's favorite shows, Iron Fist.
The girl who plays Peg?
Oh,
she's his girlfriend.
I was like, you know how I feel about Iron Fist. So.
Everybody hates that show. What are you talking about?
Wow.
But in real life, she's British, and so like that's something.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, yes, they're taking our jobs, but still. Now, before I looked at the credits, I thought she was that Asian woman from Penis that's showing Hulu. It's like
I know what you're talking about.
It's Pen 15.
Oh, okay.
Have you not heard of that?
No, never.
So it's a show about this Asian woman and this white woman. It's about like their experience in middle school, and the adult actors, they play the characters of themselves when they were like 12, 13, but everybody in the cast is like actual 12 or 13-year-old kids.
Except for them too.
Yeah. It's a comedy show. But yeah, so like I'm not gonna just totally just like be like I love this movie. I will say that so I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the behind the scenes stuff. Like Netflix bought the rights to Knives Out. So Rian Johnson has to make 2 movies, and they bought the rights for like $400 million. And you could see that they had to like spend like several $1 million on this movie. And so I'm like, why are all these fucking cameos in this movie? What are we doing?
Oh yeah, there was a lot.
This has to be the worst cameo movie I've ever seen.
The guy who gave the spritz of COVID immunity or whatever.
Yeah.
Isn't it the villain from
yes.
Moon Knight?
Yes. Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke, right?
Ethan Hawke, yeah.
That's actually a piece of trivia. He was in the area because they were filming Moon Knight, and Rian Johnson was like, "Hey man, you want to come through?" He's like, "All right."
And he just walked on.
Yeah,
I got something for you to do.
You want to be in my new movie? I got several $1 million I have to get rid of. So, so I don't know. Like, it was nice to see Angela Lansbury since she recently passed away. But like, I feel like that Zoom call that he did would have been funnier if it would have been actors that played detectives on TV shows. Like, since she was
like a
Murder She
detective
Wrote.
I did not even realize
yeah,
that
that's
was
right.
Angela Lansbury.
Say it again.
I did not even realize that was Angela Lansbury.
They were just happening like rapid fire. Like Yo-Yo Ma was in this movie for no fucking reason. Like, why is Serena Williams here? Like, what is happening?
Weird. It was just weird.
They had to spend that money.
And also, who was the guy who opened up the door for when Helen came with the box to his house?
Oh, Hugh Grant.
Yeah, Hugh Grant. Yeah, just random cameos.
Right. It's like, what are we doing, movie? Yeah, overall, I liked it. It was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to the third movie. I would suggest you watch the first movie, Karlan. It takes some zigs and zags. Like, stuff happens where you're like, why? You can feel that that was his follow up to The Last Jedi, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, everything that he was trying to accomplish with The Last Jedi, of like, I am going to like not fall into like your expectations of what you think will happen in this kind of movie. If you know what I'm saying, Matt, that is what happens in Knives Out.
That's interesting. Did the movie make any money?
It made a lot of fucking money.
Well, I know Knives Out made a lot of money.
Second
one.
Movie.
I saw it.
So
didn't really do that well.
So here's the problem. Netflix bought the rights, and Netflix is so headstrong on like, we are a streaming company. We don't believe in movie theaters and all this bullshit. So they did this experiment where they released the movie in theaters for 1 week only. And it was the week of Thanksgiving. And the movie made like $50 million in that week. And the analysts were saying if they actually would have like gave it a theatrical run until Christmas, until it came out on Netflix, and actually like spent money on advertising and actually put it in the amount, like it had like a fraction of the amount of theaters that it was in, that Knives Out was in, and it still made like $40 million. It would have made its budget back if they would have did that. But Netflix likes to waste money.
Yeah. Just not smart, I guess.
I don't know what's happening here. Like, this is not the same streaming landscape that it was 5 years ago. Like, you aren't making money like this anymore. Like,
there's too many options.
It's not. And then it's also, there's not that much money to streaming because
it's a subscription. Like,
okay,
cool. You spent $100 million on this movie and you still getting the same amount of money you got last month because these are just subscriptions.
Exactly. I actually read an article that said that 80% of households or family households have like whatever streaming service. And then by next year, that number only went up by like 0.2%.
Right. Like, what is the point of getting another streaming service? Like, genuinely, like I was actually talking to my cousin about this today, where she was, my cousin, she's Black. My cousin Bree, friend of the show, and that there's a new Best Man TV show.
Oh yeah, I just saw that last night.
You watched it?
No, I didn't watch it. I just saw it existed, which I was shocked by.
It's on Peacock, and so she's like, "Oh yeah, I got to get Peacock now because Best Man," and I'm like, but why though? Like, why?
Hey, because you want to watch it, you got to pay for it.
But still, okay, if she gets it for 1 month, she pays the $10 or whatever and unsubscribes. You spent however many millions of dollars on this show and you got $10.
That's true.
So, they have to figure out a whole new way about it.
Yeah.
Is Peacock like the new BET?
No. Well, so Peacock is NBC.
NBC, yeah.
NBC. Okay. Because I've heard of a streaming network called Zeus. You guys heard of that one? Zeus Network?
Yes, that is like the. I don't want to say
New
that.
Ratchet television.
There we go. That's exactly the word I was going to use, but I was like, I wasn't going to use that. But yeah, it's just. You have that Blueface, whatever his chick's name is on there.
Blueface?
It's like He's a rapper. But you just have all these like reality nonsense on there that people care about.
I think I do know
That's
what you're
on
talking
there.
about because what's his name? Because I was huge fan of Real Chance of Love and all that Flavor of Love stuff. I think the guy who is real has his own show now on that network or that streaming service.
Right.
Is this one of those streaming services where you don't pay for it, but it's like a fuck ton of ads on it?
No, you pay for it.
Oh.
Only reason I picked it up for a month was because they had that one stripper TV show, reality TV. It was pretty cool. With the girl from Love and Hip Hop.
Hey, Michelle.
No, the Spanish girl with the terrible accent.
Oh, Jocelyn.
Jocelyn, yes, Jocelyn's Cabaret. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
So is it like it's just her living life, or is it her being naked?
No, it's her building a cabaret.
Okay.
Like putting together bringing together all these girls who want to be a dancer in her cabaret. It's actually really good. I started watching it because one of my favorite porn stars actually was in there.
Wait,
Shout out to Miss Natural.
Hold up. You over here watching traditional porn still? Man, we moved to OnlyFans. All right. We support small businesses, not corporations.
Yes.
Okay. I gotta get on that.
Okay. So what do you guys think the Rotten Tomatoes was on this movie?
I say something high.
Yeah.
So
okay,
let me go.
So why don't I do this? I'm gonna tell you what the Rotten Tomatoes was on the first movie. How about that? To give you a baseline.
I want to go 87.
Hold up. Knives Out. I want to give you guys a baseline before you do that. So Knives Out, the Rotten Tomatoes was 97%. I want to give you an idea.
Then I'm going to go with a 90. You said how much? 97?
97% Rotten score, tomato meter, 92 audience score.
I'll go 92.
I'm gonna stick with my 87.
Okay.
Just because the people who watched the first one really are expecting a certain thing, and I don't know if they got really what they wanted. From the second.
Yeah, I'm gonna go at 87 too.
Oh, okay.
Stealing my number.
The tomato meter and the audience score were both 93%.
93. I figured it'd be lower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. This week's trivia question. The title Glass Onion refers to the Beatles song from the White Album. The song teasing various myths about the band, by the band, specifically John Lennon, who wrote it, thus fitting as a mystery film's title. The first Knives Out was also titled after a song, specifically the song by which band? So one of these bands has a song called Knives Out. Is it A, Smashing Pumpkins, B, Radiohead, C, They Might Be Giants, or D, Motley Crue?
Well, I know it's not the Smashing Pumpkins.
Well, what was B again?
Radiohead.
I'm gonna go with Radiohead.
Yeah, I'll go with D.
Motley Crue.
So those are the two that I was going for, man. I was like, it's between Motley Crue and Radiohead. Man. It's like one of those two says Knives Out, has a song called Knives Out.
Nah, play the R's, pick C.
I'll go with A.
Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah, Smashing Pumpkins, baby.
Look at you guys over here being gamblers. I love it. The answer was Radiohead. It's from their fifth album. It's from their fifth album, Amnesiac.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Stole my answer again.
All right, so we're gonna dump some trivia here. Rian Johnson has stated that he briefly considered a running joke of having Daniel Craig use a different accent in each movie and not explain it.
Oh, he should have done that.
That would have
He
been funny.
He definitely should have. Yeah.
Sounds like Ryan Johnson.
All right, so we already talked about the Ethan Hawke thing. So this movie reunites Daniel Craig and Dave Bautista. The last thing they were in together was Spectre.
Ooh.
And
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Benoit Blanc plays the white character in Among Us. Blanc is French for white. And this last one is kind of a spoiler for the first movie, but this is a really interesting tidbit. It says, just like the first movie, the actor with the second billing ends up being the murderer, and the person with the and billing ends up being the murder victim. I like how Matt's like, let me look at this. IMDb may not be your friend on this one. You may have to like look at like the end of a trailer or something, or rewatch the movie.
Yeah, I definitely rewatched the movie.
It's a solid movie. Like I really liked it. I have to cut this.
Well, wait. How did you say it again?
Okay, it says the person with the second billing ends up being the murderer. So it's Daniel Craig and then the second person. And then the person at the end that says the person with the and, so the very last person credited in the credits is the murder victim. So I'm gonna assume. Oh yeah, I think in the trailer they were like, and introducing Janelle Monáe or some shit like that, even though she's been in movies since she was the. Well, she was.
Who was the murderer? In the
well,
first
it could. The murderer.
Yes.
It's a very famous man.
Okay. So that is correct on this one. And then you said,
well, okay. So in this second movie, 2 people died. So it could be referring to Bautista.
Let me go out. Instead of going off the first one where you can't talk about it, let me look this up real quick. So
I appreciate you fact checking this trivia that I did not fact check while we're on the air.
Okay, so you said the second person is the murderer, correct?
Right. And then the person with and that's credited as and so is the murder victim. So it's either Janelle Monáe or Bautista.
It's right. It's right for the second one.
So for the and, is it Janelle Monáe or Bautista?
Janelle Monáe.
Okay.
So the second one, or the first one, the second billing was
a person.
I texted to you.
Yeah.
Was that the person?
Yeah, that's
okay. So it's correct.
That's the murderer.
Right. So the fact checking is correct. That is correct how they did it. Okay.
So I kind of hope they don't do that in the third movie because I don't want to be.
Yeah. No, I know. Where's the and at for this?
All right. I know everything I need to know. But all right. This is I want to say this. I was gonna say this is a very long episode, but it was not because we had technical difficulties, and then we started the show, and then shit still fucked up, and then Karlan came in. So I want to say this is a long episode, but this is not that long of an episode. But this is a lot of fun, guys. I do like the whole mixing and matching of guests. We experiment with this not as often as we should. I'll say that. Like we've placed Fran with a few people. We placed Amy with a few people. We placed Rachel with a few people. But we got Caesar and Karlan over here just mixing it up like a whatever item you mix, like a cake. What are we doing?
Like a cake.
I guess
it's like a good blender. A good blender.
Nice
mixed up like a margarita.
Yeah. There you go. Got some ice and stuff and margaritas. Yeah.
Or gin and tonic, like Matthew probably drinking when he was reviewing that, doing that bonus mini episode.
That's funny.
Right.
But yeah, thanks guys for coming on. I do want to apologize for like such a tight turnaround. Like we're trying to be relevant, and like the last like 3 reviews we did were like old movies, and so we were like we need to like put something new out there. So I appreciate you guys watching this and then immediately getting on this call. So thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
But yeah, it was good talking to you, Karlan. It's been a minute, appreciate those tags on Instagram. Thank you.
Yeah, anytime.
And it's been good talking to you on air, Caesar. We've been talking offline, but that's not stuff that we can share with the people. Not yet, at least.
Not yet.
Yeah. But do you guys well, Karlan, we're gonna have you plug your stuff. But Caesar, is there anything you'd like to plug before Karlan goes?
I'd like to plug Chad's new tax preparer services that
Oh.
I'm going to be partaking.
Okay.
If anybody wants to follow me on Instagram, it's Caesar J 1284. That's CAESARJ 1284. Hit me up.
Say hi. Karlan?
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel called Starfighter Reviews, a podcast called Starfighter Full Movie Podcast. And yeah, you can find all my socials by just Starfighter Reviews.
Keep it simple. That's good.
Yes. Nice and marketable. Thank you so much for listening. Please rate, like, and review our podcast on your platform of choice. If you have any feedback, please email us at weusedtotalkpod@gmail.com. Like our Facebook page, We Used to Talk About This at Work, and follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at We Used to Talk Pod. Happy New Year's. I hope 2023 is good for you guys. I'm hoping it's good for us, or maybe we're going to break up. Who knows, Matt? Who knows what the year has in store for us?
Hey, this is going to be the years of breakup, so
it will be. Who else is breaking up? Or are you talking about something that we can't talk about on air?
Yes.
Moving on. Next week, come back for our year-end wrap-up. That'd be fun.
And like always, I don't know if this was a good episode. I don't know if it was a bad episode, but whatever you think about it, talk about it at work. Thank you for listening.